Right guys, there'll come questions where you have to work out a perpendicular height using sine or cosine rule. So you have to start thinking about when do we use sine rule, when do we use cosine rule, okay? And from earlier on, you will have looked at SoH, ToA, okay? So I'm being quite specific here saying perpendicular because that means right angled, okay? So that's the right angled height to the base, okay? So this tells us we're looking to work out that. Now using SoH, ToA, right, you would have to have, to find AH, you'd have to have another side, okay? You'd have to have either the adjacent or here the hypotenuse. Okay, so at present we don't have this, and then looking at the other side, 30, we don't have either this adjacent or this hypotenuse, so we have to do something else in order for us to get this perpendicular height, okay? So you'll then think, right, so what side do I find, right? If I find this side, I can do SoH, ToA here, and if I find this side, I can do SoH, ToA here, okay? So that then becomes your choice, right? Okay, now you could find out this angle as well, okay, because your angles in a triangle add up to 180. Right, but let's just stick to finding a side. Let's just go for this one here, okay? So, procedurally what will we do? We'll label this G, we'll label this S, we'll label this R, okay? And then we'll say R, sine R, S, sine S, G, sine G, okay? Right, and information do we have? Well, we know R, okay, so that's 300, okay, and now we need that, okay, now we need that, 40, 30, 70, 110, okay, so even though I was thinking about that initially, ended up we needed it, okay. Why did we pick sine rule? Because we were thinking about the ratios of these sides and angles, okay. So S 30 is the angle, so S sine 30 and G sine 40, okay. Now previously with the sine rule we went, oh, we don't know information about one of them, let's score it off, okay. So with an equation we just want 1 equals. And at this point again, if you've not made that decision already, you just need to choose what side you're going to work out, right? Let's make the decision we're going to do S, so, and then just solve this through what we would normally do with an equation, okay? So we can switch it around. If you wanted the subject on the left hand side, multiply through by your sine 30, and then substituting that into your calculator. Okay, so fraction button, 300 multiplying sine 30, close the bracket, use your cursor, sine 110, 159.62, and let's just keep that there just now. Now you're thinking, this here should be less, right? Because the angle's less than this length here. If that's 110, 300 metres. If that's 30, it should be smaller. It's smaller, okay? Right? Not the answer, okay? Asked to find the perpendicular height. Okay, so we've got this length here, which is 159.62. Right, don't round it, we've got this angle here. This H is the height that we're trying to find. Don't get confused with thinking about hypotenuse. So let's label it O, H, so you might want to say HYP there, A, so we've got O and H, sine, so the sine of the angle is the opposite, which in this case is H, the height, over the hypotenuse, which is 159.62, and so on, okay? So we'll cross multiply again, multiplying each side by this 159. So the h equals the 159.62 times the sine 40. Okay, that's why I've kept this on my calculator. And I just need to say multiply sine 40 close bracket equals 102.6. Now let's go for three significant figures and use the units in the question, meters. Okay, so there is a question, right? Exam standard, sine rule, or the cosine rule, thinking about what information you're given using SoH ToA.